I have drafted proposed legislation titled the Foundational Black American Slave Trade Restorative Justice Act of 2025, designed to establish federal jurisdiction for civil actions against successor African states whose predecessors participated in these post-1808 transgressions. I have also developed a complementary executive order to be issued by the President of the United States. The executive order formally establishes an interagency task force to investigate the successful African states' involvement, recommend legal and diplomatic remedies, and assist the development of federal legislation. Legal constitutional basis. I want the people in the back to pay close attention, because many of you all, every time we bring up reparations, you armchair lawyers always try to give me reasons why it won't happen. And I'm telling you, as that in the United States of America, we can do any darn thing we want to do, especially enact laws, okay? Listen to this. More than 2 centuries ago, the act prohibiting the importation of slaves in 1807 made it a federal crime to traffic enslaved Africans to the U.S. after January 1st, 1808. Yet, as documented with slave ships like the Clotilda and the Wanderer, illegal trafficking continued, with many African kingdoms acting as collaborators in direct defiance of U.S. law. And this proposed act establishes federal jurisdiction for civil actions, which means money. Somebody type money in the chat room. For civil actions against successor African states. Somebody type successor state in the chat room. Okay? Whose historical regimes participated in the illegal post-1808 trade. What that means is, when you take over another country or nation, a kingdom or whatever, you don't just inherit their land and their benefits, you also inherit their debts. And so the kingdom of Ghana, they might not be there, but the country of Ghana exists. All those countries, the nations, they're the successor state. And see, this follows the precedent, and I laid it out there because I want Trump to see. It follows the precedent set by the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism Act of 2016. This allowed American citizens to sue Saudi Arabia for what happened on 9/11, 15 years before. And they sued them and they got judgments. So this literally gave American citizens the right to sue foreign countries for terrorism. And I don't think anything is more terroristic than the slavery and what we had to do. Nevertheless, like JASTA, this legislation includes a waiver of sovereign immunity, a private right of action. And private right means you can sue it. When you do your history and you do your research and you find out that your great-grandmother was brought to this country, or a great-great-grandmother was brought to this country after 1808 in one of those illegal slave ships, and you put the documentation together and you present it to court, and you give grounds for a lawsuit, you have a right to bring forth a claim, okay? As a private citizen. And here's the other thing. I'm proposing a 50-year statute of limitation beginning upon the claimant's discovery of eligibility. What does that mean? What that means is you might not know now. But when you start doing the research, from the time you actually find out and you get that research and you get something in writing and you get the documentation, you have 50 years to sue. You see? The Supreme Court of the United States recently upheld the constitutionality of JASTA in 2023 in Twitter Incorporated versus Tamina 598 U.S. 471 2023. So what I'm trying to explain to you all is this is a legal pathway to get reparations. Isn't that what you want? Isn't that what y'all want? You say you want reparations, but some of you all don't have the stomach for it. You're weak. Just like many of our ancestors. And I'm not like you. See, let me go ahead and get all into you right now, because y'all don't know who you're dealing with. Some of you all are weak. You're soft as cotton swab. You're soft as a wet tissue napkin. You're not built like me. You don't want the smoke. You don't have the stomach for it. And people like Harriet Tubman would leave your black behind on the plantations. You're not built for it. So go step yourself aside and let the real hard hitters do what they have to do to get our people reparations. If you're against them, you're a punk. And you always will be a punk. And you should have been left on the plantation. It was black men like me who had to come back to the plantation and free your black behind because you wasn't man enough or woman enough to stand up. So I don't want to hear what you have to say. You have no guts. You have no courage. You're a coward. And you don't want to do for your children what your ancestors didn't do for you. But I'm not like you. So shout out to all the other black people who have the stomach for this, who want our reparative justice, who want our reparations. And we don't give a damn who pays us. Everybody who's responsible needs to pay up. How they work it out amongst themselves is on them. I don't care. Why don't we sue the European nations? Why don't we sue Ghana and all these rest of these Africans and let them deal with their partners from back in the day? Y'all was all in cahoots together to load us up on those ships. Y'all can deal with each other. Just give us our money. Or give us the opportunity to prove that we're entitled to the money and get our judgment. Let's finish this letter. Additionally, because this has been 5 years in the making, I want y'all to understand. Additionally, the U.S. and international human rights law recognize forced labor and slavery as enduring harm subject to legal and diplomatic remedy. The act aligns with these standards and draws authority from Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, as well as the 13th and 14th Amendments, empowering Congress to redress civil rights violations. These enslaved African individuals were citizens of these African kingdoms, and they were unlawfully captured, tortured, and sold to slave traders. This proposed act would reflect the principles of sovereignty, citizenship, and protection from the state-sponsored abuse under the International Covenant and Civil and Political Rights, the ICCPR, prohibiting governments from engaging in unlawful torture, cruel treatment, and arbitrary arrest. United Nations 1966 International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, Article 7-9. Presidential exam. Let's talk about it. Y'all still with me? Let me know if you're with me, because I know we got the cowards up out of here. I want the cowards to leave. I don't like you. I want all the cowards to leave. I don't like you. If you ain't with it, you ain't with it. Leave the page now. You can leave. Go look at go talk about black men and black women not getting along. We gonna talk about money over here. That's what we doing over here. Get your cowardly butt out of here. You're unwelcome here. This is for real black men and real black women who want reparative justice. I don't want to hear about them. Our brothers and sisters. Get up out of here with that. If they were really your brothers and sisters, they'd have came over here and got your black behind within the past 400 years. They don't care about you. Let's continue. Ha ha. Praise God. As established through executive orders like Truman EO 9981, the desegregation of the military, and Clinton's EO 12 executive order, that's what that stands for, 12898, environmental justice. The president has broad authority to investigate and redress past legal injustices. The enclosed executive order would formally establish an interagency task force to investigate African participation in the illegal slave trade, recommend remedies, and assist Congress in drafting legislation. Now, I've already drafted the legislation, but we're going to keep looking. This is not a gesture of blame. It is an act of historical accountability, national healing, and legal consistency with your commitment to law and order. And this initiative represents a legally grounded and historically justified path towards restorative justice, an opportunity to advance American leadership on human rights from a position of strength. In other words, we're not begging or asking you for anything. We're taking what's ours, and you're going to like it or not, we don't care. The chance to shape history and forge legacy of national healing. The goal of this initiative are not rooted in blame, but in justice, recognition, and reconciliation. They are fully consistent with your legacy of putting America first. Somebody type America first in the chat room. Somebody type Americans first in the chat room. Somebody type foundational Black Americans first in the chat room. Somebody type FBA first in the chat room. Your long-standing advocacy for law and order. In this case, we seek to uphold the very laws violated over 200 years ago, laws that were enacted by our founders to end the gravest injustices in human history. I'm prepared to provide a full legal briefing, documentation, and scholarly support to assist your consideration in this matter. In close, you will find a copy of the draft legislation, the supporting legal outline, and the proposed executive order for your review. Clarification, and let's be clear, clarification on eligibility under the Restorative Justice Act executive order. Who's eligible for this? To preserve the historical and legal integrity of this important initiative, it is necessary to define precisely who qualifies. Somebody type, you don't qualify, queen. Somebody type, we always talk about these kings and queens of Africa we want to be like, and these same damn kings and queens of Africa are the ones that sold us into slavery. Hell with them.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to the broadcast. This is Uncle D.
People wash their ass in the tub, Kamala Harris.
You were tuned in to Uncle D. D's Black Man Talk. Pull up, homie, take a seat. Don't be a shadow watcher every day. You learn something, then you earn something. And let them know and drop some money in the plate. It's getting cold, ladies, talking ratchet. There's a king here, grab your coat, zip your jacket. Keep quiet for a second, close your jaw. Attorney Spurling, this ain't pearly, know the law. Talking Constitution, pushing pins when he shooting, give him that. Masculinity, just for the record, sprinkle that. You can keep your cat, gotta cut it. Only cat he rubbing, gotta love it. I call it Molly Buddy. Gotta vote your interest, voting earns. Presidential, this is for the money that I earn. When you gon' learn, my people, that evil mixed with evil. No matter what you're doing, baby, this ain't equal. Sometimes when you're special, you get hated. The test is for the best, you're damn right, my people made it. Uncle D, Blizzard King, you've been served, gotta know this. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now.
Hey man, I'll do what I do.
Somebody need to whip your ass.
Get up and whip him, Sweets.
Hey, don't be putting the money in my hand all rough.
Take your ass out here. You buy you a Flowbee and cut your own damn hair from now on.